Oh, hello. So we're here already. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to all the viewers of WAYH. So you are not seeing Felice now. I am Grace Aksalan. I'm the fortunate mother of Felice. And this is my other half, Mr. John Aksalan.
Assalamualaikum.
Hello, I'd also like to
So
butt in.
anyway,
Just wanted
you
to
are
tell
now watching
our
our world
parents
at
hello.
your homes.
Can you remove the stream on your background? It's echoing.
Okay. So, sorry, yeah. Okay. Is that okay now? Wait, sorry, but we're not used. Okay, anyway, so yeah, welcome to WAYH. Normally, it's our daughter Felice that's been doing this live stream, but since the destination that will be discussed for today is a destination that's very close to our heart, and the reason why we're also doing this live stream, the way uh, world at your home, is that for the Filipinos to be able to travel virtually in some parts of the world. So this is the purpose of this WAYH. So Mr. Aksalan, can you read that?
Yes, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Masaa Alkayir, maayong hapon, naimbag na malim, marhay na hapon, mayap agapunapon sa inyong lahat. Welcome to another episode of The World at Your Home. And I'm here to assist my bitter half dahil namimiss na raw niya kayo, especially our
Yeah.
agents and of course our partners in
Or
Egypt and Israel. And this afternoon, you will have a chance to meet them, to see them, and to chat with them, and at the same time, to chat with us. If you have some concerns about the new norm and the traveling issues about traveling in the new norm, mamaya po magkakaroon tayo ng open forum or somehow kahit pa paano you can ask us dito sa ating chat room.
yes. And then also, I'd like to thank all the viewers consistently. They've been watching our live stream. I'm seeing their names in the past, like Miss Judy Letran, Mr. Jeremy, who else? Mr. Lyndon Johnson. Ang dami niya na palanunan. Of course, my batchmate, Ramon Alonso. Thank you for watching with us. And then there's Marites Bejo. And then Jacob Manzares, Donna of Life Travel. Yes. Thank you for being here with us and always supporting our live stream. So, yes, it's kind of right now the borders are opening, and then I'm sure that all of the viewers out there are very much excited to do the revenge traveling. So that's what they call it, revenge traveling. So anyway, and that is why we are featuring this destination, Holy Land, and also Egypt, so that at least for us, for the others who'd like to go out of the country, this could be one of the destination that you can visit. And for us to be able to know more about this destination, we have invited our friends, our very dear friends from Israel and from Egypt. They are not just our business partners, business associates, but they're also our friends for a very, very long time. And yes, through thick and thin, we've managed to be sticking together. So, we have groups in the past that had problem before the lockdown. Anyway, we'll probably explain that in a while. Tell that story at the end of this series. But anyway, before introducing our partners, our friends, we will also would like to tell you that we have raffle in the end of at the end of the presentation, And we are giving away surprise prizes at the end of November. And you just have to follow these steps to earn a raffle entry for the prize. And number one is follow and like Tours R Us page. Number two is watch the live stream every Thursday at 5 p.m. Number three is share our live stream to your friends and post the hashtag World at Your Home series or hashtag WAYH. And then make the post public. And then number four is answer the question at the end of the stream through the comments and through the comment section. So there will be prizes later for those sharers that will do the sharing, and Syra will do it later. And of course, our friends will choose or will say stop, and the person who will be the lucky winner will be announced later in this live stream. So anyway, Dan, would you like to do the introduction for our friends?
Sino introduce natin? Sino mauna? Sino gusto niyo mauna?
Israel.
Of course.
Israel.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Gusto mo unahin ng Israel?
Yes, because
Okay.
siya mag-i-introduce to
Oo.
other...
Kung tutuusin, dapat panggitna ang Israel.
Oo.
Dahil what we do, normally what we do with the 3-in-1 is like either pasok entry ng Egypt, then enter ng Israel, then out ng Jordan. But this time, dalawa lang po yung ating inimbita para ma-surprise naman kayo sa susunod yung ating Jordan. No? So, I would like to introduce, huwag na natin patagalin, ito po ay aking mga sister. Matagal ko nang nakasama, and there were times na nagkaroon kami ng, I was in Israel for 2 months. Na dito ko sila nakilala dahil na-save nila yung aming group, And hanggang sa huli, itong katulad ng pandemic, before mag-close ang border, sila pa rin po ang nag-save ng ating mga groups. Especially nung pagbalik ng Egypt. At eksakto po naman na bago mag-lockdown sa Manila, nakabalik naman po lahat yung pasahero natin. And huwag na natin patagalin, ito po ang aking kinakapatid sa Israel. Wala pong iba, kundi si Miss Sana and si Miss Vivian Sruji.
Yay!
Yay! Hello!
Hello.
Okay. Hello, my dear. Yes. So
Hello. We miss you all.
Yeah, to give more information about the place or to introduce your partner in other countries.
Yes. Allow me first to tell you how much I'm happy that a moment like this, talking about pilgrims, about tourism, came finally back after 2 years of long pandemic period. And now we can see signs of hope. Pilgrims trips are the ones that will stay with us forever and always. Allow me first today to talk about Egypt, which is one of the greatest, most interesting countries you will ever see. Full of history, full of culture, full of geography. The history of Egypt is infinite, with thousand years of ancient monuments, such as the Egyptian museums, the Great Pyramids of Giza, and many more, which Mr. Izzat and Mr. Hani, our partners, will explain it to you now.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Mrs. Vivian. Thank you, Sister Sana. Did you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, it's a great honor to be with you here today, and it's a great honor to be part of this a great family work. And I would like to tell you that about Egypt. Egypt today is totally different before the COVID. I mean, 2 years, it changed all Egypt. You will see Egypt different in the street. Everything it changed. Even the museum, the pyramids, everything will find something new. Because of that, we will let Mr. Izzat explain and introduce everything to you. But let me talk to you about the regulation and all the policy, how you enter Egypt. First of all, in this situation, the COVID situation, if you want to enter Egypt, you need to bring PCR with you within 72 hours. Okay. Some people will say, if I have a certificated vaccine certificate, can I use it? Yes, can use if the QR code from your country will scan and will work. And what I heard that all the Far East, like Philippines, like Indonesia, the QR code doesn't work. Because of that, we need PCR. Okay. The PCR within 72 hours, when you will enter this, if you will enter from Taba border, this is will enter from Cairo airport. If you will enter from any port in Egypt, you need 72 hours. This is the expired of the PCR. Okay. What if you will enter from Israel? You can't bring with you antigen. Antigen expired within 24 hours. That means if you will come from Taba border, no need PCR. Yes, no need PCR. You can make antigen. We will accept that. But should have QR code. Should have a stamp with QR code. When they scan it, they can read your data, your name, your passport number. So doesn't matter. We will use a PCR within 72 hours or antigen. Cairo airport, only PCR. For Cairo airport, only PCR. But Taba border allowed and accept antigen. This is the new regulation. What we accept this time. Okay. What if we find someone have result positive PCR? In that case, he will stay in Egypt. We will not say 5 days or 10 days. We will say until we get different result. If we repeat the PCR after 48 hours or 72 hours and we get different result like negative, that means he can move. So no quarantine, no stay in. If he negative, he can move. If he positive, he will stay until he repeat again the PCR. In Egypt, we make something like we won't help all. So if someone positive, we will repeat direct again and again and again the PCR until we get him negative. The good news that from Eternity and Bright Star Tours start from middle of April. We will make the PCR in Egypt for you enter Israel free of charge. And this is the good news. I'm sure Mrs. Sana will inform you about it when she talks that you no need to think how much the PCR in Egypt, because middle of April, the PCR not will be free, will be with a charge, but Bright Star and Eternity together will support our groups to make it free of charge. This is the regulation in Egypt, and Mr. Izzat now will start to explain to you everything happened in Egypt during 2 years ago and what we have new to excite you about the new Egypt. Mr. Izzat.
Hello, everybody. Ms. Grace Sir John, is really wonderful to see you again. Ms. Fleece, it's very good to see you. Sana, it's really nice to see you after a very long time. And Vivian, thank you very much for the sweet talk about, or the introduction, the sweet introduction about Egypt. Thank you very much for that. I would like to welcome everybody attending our meeting today, and we really hope that we will get something and we'll start soon after 2 years of pandemic. So hopefully that will be the beginning for something new, and I really hope that everything will be totally new, so with something fresh and go back to business and things get back again to life. So that's what we all expecting and waiting for, and we all pray for that things will get better very soon. So actually in a few minutes we will start to show some videos about Egypt, about the sites we are visiting here in Egypt. So We will do this soon. We will have. I will just talk about these places, which may many of you have seen that, but we are just reminding, these places we normally visit when we come for the Holyland trip in Egypt here. Okay, this we were this with like music background. I was supposed to talk about them, but now actually these are here the pyramids which we have seen. We all have seen that. So we have some more videos we have for the Egyptian Museum, for the Civilization Museum, and also we have some sites for the Christian churches. We have the Hanging Church and Abu Sirga Church. Okay, here we have a new museum was opened last year. This is a very interesting museum we're having, and actually we may have to choose between the old Cairo Museum, the one we used to visit before, and this museum we are watching now. This is what you call the Civilization Museum. Also, we call it the museum with the mummies because in this one we have 22 mummies for some of the kings of the new kingdom from Egypt, and it would be very interesting. I mean, to see real mummies for real, and not only that, but I mean the museum itself. It has 2 floors. I mean the ground floor. This is for the mummies. 22 mummies. They're displayed in a very nice and impressive way, and also the floor which is above, we have exhibitions for different eras from Egypt. I mean, we have from the Pharaonic time, we have from the Coptic time, from Islamic time, Greek and Roman time, and it's very interesting to visit this one. I don't know which one you would prefer to visit. The Cairo Museum or the National Museum, or maybe both. So, I mean, the good thing about the museum here that this one is very near to the Coptic churches. I mean, they are in the same area. So, I mean, that will be saving lots of time for the people, when they have the tour. Sometimes the traffic in Cairo, I mean, to move from one site to another takes long time. But, I mean, when we have 2 sites near to each other, so that will be a privilege for us in the tour to actually see many things. And when you visit this museum, which is totally new, you will see lots of jewelry. You will see, I mean, the costume in Egypt from different times. So that would be a good idea for the people to get an idea about Egypt. And here, this is a very nice view for a lake. It was ignored for so many years, but now the government developed this one, and we can take very nice pictures by the lake over there. Yes, and this is my second home, actually, which I really love it so much. This is here our Egyptian Museum, or Cairo Museum, or our National Museum. This museum is very old. I mean, we started to build this one 1897 till 1901. It's very interesting with all the different items it has inside there. I mean, inside of this museum, we had like 165,000 pieces. And actually, these monuments, they are like made of stone, wood, metals, gold. And but this one now, it's like, it's too small for all the monuments we having inside. And that's why the government decided to build the national, or sorry, the Grand Museum. So maybe in a few months, we'll be having the Grand Museum. We have Cairo Museum. We have the Civilization Museum. So there will be lots of varieties for the people who are interested, in our ancient civilization. So there will be, they'll be choosing, what to see. Like, for those who like to see more the mummies, they have this. For those who would like to visit a grand and huge museum, like the new one, which is about to open very soon. Or we have the Cairo Museum, and here we see the collection of the great and the famous King Tutankhamun, mostly of gold, and most of all, the gold mask of the King Tutankhamun which is about 11 kilograms of the pure gold. I mean, it's like Miss Vivienne mentioned, it's about this civilization from the ancient time. We have lots of things to see. I mean, Egypt has over 17% of all the monuments of the world. Everywhere you go, we have something from the ancient time. We have civilization from like 3,200 before Christ and even more. So here we talk about more than 5,200 years. We can see, we can look at, we can touch. So this all you see when you come to visit Egypt here. And this is also in Cairo, the city we visit when we come for the Holyland trip. So here we have lots of things to see. Even the decoration, the paintings, the gold which they used to lay like the statues here. Things which, when you look at them, they are very much intact. I mean, especially with the colors. When you look at them, they are like made 10 years ago. But maybe because of the dry weather we have here, so we see these monuments from the ancient time, they still remain in a very good shape. We still can look at them, and actually we wonder how come these monuments are surviving for all these thousands of years. So that was our Egyptian museum. This is what we call it Abu Serga Church, or St. Sergius Church. This is a highlight for our trip visiting to Egypt here. That's because this is the oldest and the first church was built in Egypt here. This one was built in the 3rd century. And actually here we can see this is the original one. I mean, now we are doing some renovation for the church, like you see on the walls here. But I mean, this is a fantastic church. And actually the importance of this church, or the significance of this church, that inside of the church we have what we call it the Holy Crypt. Holy Crypt, this is the place where the Holy Family was hiding from Herod after the Holy Family brought Jesus and came to Egypt here, when the angel appeared to Saint Joseph to take the Holy Family and to escape to Egypt, because Herod wanted to kill the baby Jesus Christ. So Egypt was the country which received the baby Jesus Christ. And here he found a safe place with the Holy Family. Here, he found a shelter, for the whole Holy Family, for for Joseph, for Virgin Mary, and for the baby Jesus Christ. This is the Holy Crypt. This is where the Holy Family was hiding. Here Jesus lived for a while. Here we took about maybe 3 months. The Holy Family was hiding here in this place. Can you imagine when you get inside of this place, touch the place where the Holy Family was hiding, when Jesus as a baby was there in this place? So I mean, it has a special feeling. It makes you feel different when you are in a place like this. Like 2,000 years ago, Jesus was here, Virgin Mary was here, Joseph was here in this place, and this place is still remaining to now. Like you can see here. This place. It's like a destination for many of the people from all over around the world to come and visit this place to see where Jesus, lived for a while in the place there. So this is what we call it, St. Sergius Church or Abu Serga Church. It's a nice place to visit, and we're always having, this place, when we come to visit Egypt here. I mean, this is one of some churches we have in the area, which we call it the Coptic Cairo. In this area, we have like 7 churches there. They are inside of the Babylon fortress. They are very old, so this area. It's very good. It's not just a church, but actually in this area we have the churches, we have a synagogue, we have a mosque, which is not far from the church. So it's a very old place. I mean, the church, the synagogue, and the mosque, and they are very interesting. This is Abu Serga Church. Yeah, this is another church we have here. We call it the Hanging Church. This is the church. In Arabic, we call it Mu'allaqa. Decoration using the wood and even paintings in the church here. They are amazing. This church was not built on the ground. This church was built over 2 towers of a fortress called Babylon Fortress. It was built by a Trojan emperor, and the Emperor Trajan. He built this this Babylon Fortress in the 1st century. So the Christians, they tried to find a place which is like more higher above the ground, so to like avoid the flood of the Nile, which was coming every year. So when they came to this place and they found these 2 towers, they decided to build a church over the 2 towers, and that's why we call it the Hanging Church. It's a miracle that the church is still surviving till now over these 2 towers, because actually to build a church they had to build some timbers of wood made of the trunks of the palm trees, which they are not strong. So with these palm trees, they connected between the 2 towers, and then they built the church over. So here, actually, the foundation of the church is something. It's not concrete, it's not stone, but just the trunks of the palm trees, which they are not very strong. I mean, the icons in the church, they are very nice. They have very beautiful colors. Some of them like maybe 700 or 800 years. Inside of the place here. Also, we have some of the nice mosaics. We can see them on the corridor when we are going up to visit the church. We have some mosaics for the Holy Family coming, the flight of the Holy Family to Egypt. Like here, I mean, Virgin Mary riding a donkey with the baby Jesus Christ. Some of the saints here. And also we have some mosaic for moving Muqatta mountain. That was a miracle happened. And here it's a very interesting one. Virgin Mary giving a bath to Jesus. I mean, St. Joseph getting the water from the well, and Virgin Mary giving bath to Jesus. Here, these are the towers, the fortress, Babylon Fortress from the 1st century. Can you imagine? This is from the 1st century. And here we can see the towers. And here to show how the church was built over 2 of these towers of this fortress here. Hanging Church. It used to be the seat of the patriarch for the Coptic Orthodox Church for many years. Yes. I don't know how those are watching this now and they have been to this place, how they feeling when they see it again now. Monastery, St. Catherine, or St. Catherine Monastery. It's really touching when you always look at, the videos or the pictures of the monastery and the place there. I mean, you know, you always have a special feeling when you are in the place there, when you are in the area in St. Catherine with Mount Sinai, Moses Mountain, which Moses climbed to receive the 10 commandments from God. It's not like any other feeling anywhere else. I mean, to be there, you feel something special inside you. And for those who are climbing the Mount Sinai, reaching the summit, or even go 2/3 of the mountain, you know, they always come with many of the nice experiences. I mean, ask anyone climbing the Mount Sinai. This is an experience that could never be forgotten. You know, to the feeling of being there, climbing the mountain, reaching the summit, even if not reaching the summit, but I mean to be there in the place. It's something very good. It makes you feel very good, you know, in your heart. And with all the surroundings, with all the other mountains, with the granite mountains, I mean, we having there, and also with the monastery of St. Catherine, which you sometimes look when you can see it from here. This is a shortcut for getting down the mountain. We are not recommending this for the people to take the shortcut, because this is like 3,000 uneven steps to get down. It's shorter. It could be for the young people, but for the senior citizens, sometimes it's difficult to do it. And here, the old monastery, St. Catherine Monastery. We talk about a monastery was built in the fifth century. Can you imagine that? We talk about 1,500 years old for this monastery. It was built by Saint Helen to carry the name of Saint Catherine, the girl which was martyred by the Romans because she decided to follow Jesus. And that was in Alexandria, but after actually they cut her head off, the monks found the body of Saint Catherine on the top of the mountain, in one of the mountains in Sinai, because Saint Catherine Mountain, and then they got her body down, and then Saint Helen and her son Constantine, they decided to build this monastery here to carry her name. When you look at the monastery from outside, it's like you see it, it's more like a castle, because it was attacked so many times before. So the monks built these high walls to protect the burning bush inside. So these are mainly what we see in the Holyland trip. But I mean, that's not all what we have. This is what we see, but we have lots of other things to see. I mean, we have Luxor, we have Aswan, we have Alexandria, but this is something we can talk about later. But now that's what we are focusing on, to just have like a refreshment with the things we are seeing in Egypt when we come here. I really pray and wish that things will get back to normal, and the people will be able to come back again to the Holy Land. I mean, I'm sure many of the other people who already have done this before, they are desiring to come back, you know, to visit these holy places which they are visiting in the Holy Land trip. Thank you for joining and for listening to this, and hope to see you, all of you, very soon, you know, in the Holy Land trip. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Izad. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat, Izad.
Yeah, thank
Hello,
you.
Sir John. It's always wonderful to see you.
Yeah,
I miss Mount Sinai. I miss the
Yeah.
monastery. I miss everything in Egypt. The food, the people, and of course, I miss Honey Peter. Hello.
We are waiting for you, Sir John, here.
I miss all the guys in Egypt.
Thank you, sir. We miss you too so much.
Don't cry, he's crying. He's teary-eyed. Don't get teary-eyed. You will see them again soon.
We will see him soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much to Izat. And actually,
Thank you, Miss Grace.
after this live, the others can also go back to this live stream and replay it again because in Facebook, I think we have about 62,000 or 63,000 followers. So, and also in YouTube, we have some followers in other social media. So this is better because the advantage of this is that they can always go back if they want to know more information about Egypt. Then they can always go back to this live stream and check what you have told. So, Mr. Honey, it's recorded when you say that uh, RT-PCR is free by April. You cannot take that back. So
You
yeah,
should to check with Mrs. Sarah about that because
okay.
she forced us to do that. This is not from Egypt. I mean, the government in Egypt not allow it to make it free. It's still chargeable, but because Eternity and Bright Star won't support the European market, we are decide to do that in the future, middle of April.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. That's a great news for everyone because actually, the reason why the Filipinos are really hesitant also, one of the reason is that the RT-PCR, the cost of the RT-PCR is a little bit expensive and it's shouldered by the passenger. So if in case like we can do things in order to lessen that burden for the passenger, then probably we can already help out to push or to increase the demands for the destination. So
Right.
it's a very good move. But I just hope that the government of Israel will really, just like other Europe, just like Switzerland and the other parts of Europe, they are eliminating already the RT-PCR as long as passengers are vaccinated or they have a proof of vaccination to show. So I just hope and pray that in the future we will not have any more RT-PCR so that it will be very convenient for everyone to travel to Israel or
Right.
to
We are
Egypt.
working on it, sister.
I mean,
Uh, yes,
We
and
work
then
on it.
for our viewers, Miss Lillian is asking, will you show the Nile River cruise? Yes, there is a Nile River cruise. I think um, in this live stream they are only focusing because this is actually a three-in-one, which is Egypt, Israel, and Jordan. But this is just the first stop of our three-in-one, which is Egypt. And the next week, Thursday, we will have the
That will be
Israel.
on March 17th. We're
Yes.
going
Right.
to feature Israel.
Mhm.
And part of our 3-in-1 also, we're going to feature Jordan on March 24,
Yes,
if
Right.
yes.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right now
So
it's good.
anyway, Mother Lillian, shout out to our my dear, very dear friend for like over 30 years, I guess. No Nile River cruise, but yeah, they can show. But we just want to focus more on the places that's included in the three-in-one. So yes, the others are asking like, why do we? Yes, there's Agnes FJ, visa upon arrival. Yes, it's visa upon arrival, right, Mr. Honey Peter? It's
I can't hear you well. Please, can you repeat?
visa upon arrival, right?
Yes, you will make it in your country, and we will check it in the airport or in Taba border.
Okay, the visa for Egypt, we can do that.
Visa,
Yes,
yeah, we do for you. Don't worry.
yes,
Yes, yes.
yes, correct. Yes, in the past, since we've been doing a lot of groups for Israel for our three-in-one. Yes, we are doing visa upon arrival for Egypt, so at least we don't have to apply the visa here in the Philippines. Yes,
Correct, right.
our cat. She's trying to get attention. Anyway, so what else are the questions? Do you have any other questions for our viewers? And yeah, going back, the others are asking, why do we need to go to Egypt for a pilgrimage? As Izat have said, that remember he showed where the family went when King Herod is hunting the child Jesus Christ, or the holy child Jesus Christ, because he heard from the three kings that there will be a king, the King of Kings that will be born. So an angel appeared to Joseph, and that is why the Holy Family fled to Egypt in order to hide from King Herod. And that is also the reason why it's better to include Egypt in the pilgrimage. And you're hitting three stones already, three destinations in one go. So you're hitting in R3 in 1. You are visiting Egypt, Israel, and Jordan. Not only that, you will be able, if you are doing your goals or bucket list. Some are doing the travel goals. You are visiting also the one of the seven wonders of the world, which is right, the pyramids.
Yes.
So actually, in this trip, you would be able to visit the two wonders of the world. That is Petra and Egypt. So, and that is why it's better to do Egypt, Holy Land, and Jordan.
May I
That's
say
correct.
something?
Yes.
Just completing your talk, Ms. Grace. I mean, if we talk about why Egypt is in the trip, it's we talk about Egypt, which is mentioned in the Bible for 700 times. We talk about, sons of Israel lived in Egypt for like 400 years. We talk about Abraham, he came to Egypt. Joseph, was here in Egypt. Jacob, also he lived in Egypt. So we talk about crossing the Red Sea, the Exodus. That was from Egypt, to the Promised Land. So actually, if we talk about the Old Testament and the New Testament, it has lots of things to do with the Holyland trip. So I mean, uh, Jesus was here, the Holy Family was here, but also if we talk about Old Testament, Abraham, was here, and his wife Sarah, and many of the prophets came here to Egypt. So sons of Israel led for 100 years, and then they crossed the Red Sea, going to the Promised Land that was from Egypt here. So it has, it's a big part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Izat.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, that
Thank
is
you.
why it's important to have Egypt in in the itinerary of our 3-in-1. So, what do you have any other questions before we go to our raffle part? My cat wants to be a part of the stream. Yeah, that's the cat of Felice. That's meow meow meowing. That's the cat of Felice. Anyway, what do you have other questions, or do you want to know more information about Egypt, so that before we go into our raffle, into our wheel of sharer, so at least Mr. Izat and Mr. Honey Peter is here, and of course my two sisters, Sana and Vivian, is here. So, are the mask requirement during the tour? Are the masks required during the tour?
I'm doing, I'm doing tours now. I do some tours with some a British company, and no, nobody's asking about that. I mean, people not. Nobody's asking about the mask, so it's not required. So I mean, people didn't have it as they are vaccinated. So I mean, it's very easy here. It's very easy going. I mean, if you, I may send you later some of the videos with some of the sites we are visiting in Luxor, Karnak Temple, and Valley of the Kings with Tutankhamun and everything. You'll see crowd of people. I mean, no, they are not wearing masks. I mean, this is something. It's something personal now. I mean, this is, if you like to have it, it's okay. But nobody's asking you to put a face mask or anything.
Ah, okay. So inside the bus,
Yes,
we
inside
can,
the bus, yes, maybe.
yes. So inside the bus, we need to put the mask, right?
Yes, I mean
When
I
inside of
think
the inside of the
preferable.
bus, yes.
yes, because that's
Yes,
a
preferable to
closed
put them on.
space. Yeah,
Hmm.
but in public public places, in establishments, restaurants, etc., you don't need to wear mask.
Okay, from
That's
my,
important in the
I'm sorry.
restaurant if you're eating, I think.
Actually, if you are here and you see on the sites and the places, actually, you would never think that we have a pandemic, or we maybe if we ever had a pandemic here. I mean, things are almost back to normal now. So I mean, it's like I feel like things. It's like before 2 years ago. So I mean, that makes me feeling very good about what we have here.
Okay. And then another thing, do you have any limit like to the capacity of the bus for the tour?
Yes, we still
Yeah.
have this.
Okay, how many?
I think, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Hani, this is like the half capacity in the buses.
So if it's like
Uh,
We can
60 seater,
accept in the 50 seat. Hello. We can accept in the buses, the normal bus is 50 seats. We can accept until 30 to 35 passenger.
mhm.
Actually, no one asked now. Was before. Now no one check about it because, for example, I was have yesterday groups 43 and no one checked, no one asked. So this is the old regulation, and they don't give new regulation, but no one check now. And about Bright Star Tours, all the buses they have now, it's like 62 seats. So if we have a group like 40, 45, even 50 is accepted in our buses.
Okay. And then perhaps Mr. I'm not sure, probably in the next live stream we can show the buses that you're using, because you have one of the best buses there in Egypt, right? So it's
Yes.
there's some Wi-Fi on board, and then also very comfortable, very convenient to travel, especially from St. Catherine to I mean, crossing, going to Israel. It's really, really nice to take the bust of a bright star. So, yeah. So even like 42, we can 35. I think that's enough already. 35, so that at least there is also like spaces for other people to be in, to have that distancing. Okay, so yes, for the others that are inquiring if there's a, how many would be the capacity inside the bus, it's 35 at least. Okay, so we have a departure for April and May for Holy Land for 3-in-1. It's just that we're sorting out like all this RT-PCR, etc. Because I know you are quite hesitant, and probably Sana, can you share with us the RT-PCR in
Experience.
experience, and probably have
Some
an
groups.
extensive details about it in next week for Israel? But how is it, the RT-PCR?
Okay, we can explain now in general that any group that is coming through any border into Israel, the people must go under PCR, but it's not really a difficult PCR. It's not the PCR that goes into your nose. It's just, they put this stick into your mouth and they just do it. For us, I think it's just to fulfill the regulations of Corona, because it's not really something they are checking further on. The groups are not getting, from our experience lately, the groups are not getting the result to their phone or to their emails. Accordingly, and according to the law, we can release them after 24 hours of the PCR test. So officially, they have to go under isolation, but we are not really doing it because, in Israel, we have West Bank and we have Israel side. So in the West Bank, they don't ask you at all. So really, when the group is coming, they can continue to do their tour in Bethlehem or in Jericho without delay, and they don't feel it at all. And the next morning, they will are free to tour around all over. We didn't encounter with all the groups that we brought till now during the pandemic any case of positive result corona. We didn't get anything like that. In the contrary, all got negative. They all enjoyed. And the positive point that we, as a travel agent, we are allowed after 24 hours of not receiving the result from the Ministry of Health, we can release the group to continue their tour regularly. And this is what's happening on land. We're not getting really the results. So the next morning, automatically, all the group is touring around,
Okay,
without delay, without result of being positive or any problem we encounter, not at all. So I think it's only for protocol. So rest assured, on land, you really don't feel anything. On land, you feel Like life is really like before the pandemic, like in 2019. Now here in Israel also in open air only, you don't put mask if it's open air, but inside the bus and if you are touring into the church, you need to put the mask on and to keep it on. That is for now. I believe also all these regulations will lessen and will get less by the time. I think by May, April, all things will be, changing. Things are changing rapidly to the positive life of before Corona. So I think this will continue. So rest assured, no one is caught here as positive Corona, and you are really enjoying
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nice to hear. Yeah, yeah. That's nice to
fully,
hear that everything is
really,
slowly
yes,
going normal. Yeah.
yes, everything is really like normal. I think the PCR here is continuing, and don't quote me on that. Only for financial, governmental, income and issues. So
You're
really,
in
I think
public.
this is the way why they keep the PCRs, because the
They
result
might
of
cap the
PCR
streaming,
will not get
because they don't want to hear anything about the
Yeah.
conspiracy on the.
yes,
They want, yeah,
Let's
this
just
is
hope and
public.
let's all pray that continuously the new norm or this kind of restrictions should
yes.
be reduced, no?
Yeah, we
Otherwise,
are
there will be
pushing them also. We're pushing, we have meetings about it. We're trying to let them understand like no need of overreaction. Because
Oh,
anyway, on one hand, nothing is working like it's saying. The
yeah.
groups are in free time. The country is packed. Hotels are full. Really, Americans, Brazilians, Nigerians, Africans, even Europe, Italians started to come now again. The country is packed. So hurry up, book your tours, come back to pray to Holyland after 2 years of not praying. It's really time to pray and start a new life after pandemic with good prayers from Holyland.
correct,
That's
correct.
right. That's right.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sana. And then also another thing, Mr. Honey, another question that I'm thinking is that with the Ukraine and Russia war, will your price increase by May or April? Because like at the moment, the gasoline here is really
The gasoline,
very,
yes.
very high. Yes. So would it affect the cost that we have released? Like we have already tours for April and May for our 3-in-1. Would that affect the cost?
Okay.
Honestly speaking, we don't know yet. In Israel, for example, we already have high cost of living. The high cost of living increased by 25% from the beginning of this year. So you get all hotels increased already their prices, buses increase, guys' salaries increased, everything got, higher. Even lunches, meals, everything got higher. I know also for Egypt side as well, they increased tremendously the prices. In Jordan as well. Honestly speaking, we were also shocked, when we get the prices from our suppliers, being it from hotels in Israel or being it from suppliers abroad. But coming to the war issue and the increase of gasoline now that everybody is talking about, it
Yes,
will be
upgrade.
more affecting, I think, the flight tickets as well, not
Yeah.
only the land tour. So I think the flights will increase. According to land tour, I don't think the increase will be much higher because we already increased, like there is already increase of 25% into the cost from last year till now. Like before
Okay.
pandemic till now, there is already increase of 25%. So it can be
Oh,
little bit more increase, but we don't know. I'm sure in Israel is smart enough to find another way, to overcome the issue of
yeah, the
yeah,
gasoline.
the
Yeah,
issue of the
correct,
war
correct.
restrictions now. But we will see. Of
Yeah.
course, no one knows of what will be, but we pray that it won't
Yes.
happen, and we will always try to do
Yes.
our best to help you to maintain the
Okay,
best prices.
thank you, Sana. And then another question for Miss Lillian Ngo. Hello, Vivian. May we know how is the crowding situation during the nativity and Holy Sepulchre, the crowd is elbow to elbow. Would the church authorities be implementing crowd control once the influx of pilgrims and tourists going to be more than the pre-pandemic? I think we can discuss this for Israel next week, but
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Egypt,
For example, like the museum,
Egypt, the museum,
the other sites that like the churches that you have mentioned, do they really have restrictions on the number of groups to enter every 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Mm.
Later, John, I have some videos I took myself like 3 days ago with the Karnak Temple in Luxor. I mean, I was hardly walking there. I mean, because of the groups, because of the people that were there. So many people. It's just I'm trying to emphasize what Sister Sanas said about being even little bit. I think we are a little bit late on trying to sell the itineraries or the trip, because now if you would visit, I mean, like Sana said, I mean, now it's the hotels are full, and so many people in the sightseeing. I'm talking about Egypt here. It's many people already coming here. If you visit the sites here, I mean, all the places are full. I mean, many people from all over around the world. I mean, from all the nationalities. So I think this is encouraging to start uh, sell the trip now and start to encourage the people to not to forget about the pandemic, but actually to just put it aside and to have a new beginning, because I mean this is the time now. I mean this is the time to do this. So no, there is no limits for the groups are visiting, for the number are getting inside of the sites here. It's very easygoing. People are enjoying. I mean, I was hoping that there would be some of the groups coming, in maybe in March and April. They will be enjoying the terrific weather we having
yeah.
here. But it's yeah, we still can do it, and I'm encouraging the people, everybody. This is the time. This is the time to start now. This is the time to do it. So don't be afraid. Don't be worried. Things are things are good here.
Mhm.
These two years of the pandemic, they're over now, and now we have a fresh beginning. So let's do it, and let's encourage everybody to just join and to come over here.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Honey Peter, any words of encouragement to all the travelers to travel already to Egypt? It's been a while, 2 years is too much. Any
Miss
words?
Grace, I'm sorry. I mean, today that was like my last group. That was exactly 2 years in today. 2 years ago today. That
Yes,
was
I
true.
completing two
know, I
years.
know, I
Yes.
it was just yeah, it's March
Yeah,
10th.
because the lockdown last 2 years ago was it started March 14th. So we have to
Right.
hurry. We have to take the groups from Israel back to Egypt, as it may coincide with the lockdown also here in Manila, because of the flight to the provinces have been closed down or temporarily closed down on March 14th. So that's why I think, yeah, this today or the 10th of March is one of the most memorable border crossing of
Sir
Egypt.
Sir
Have been
John, I on the 9th of March, I mean, I said goodbye to the last pilgrim I was with, 2 years ago. So that was in the 9th of March. So that
Mm,
was my last group working. So I was lucky because I mean the group just left before lockdown and everything.
mm.
Yes. So Mr.
Look, some
Honey,
message we should to start now.
yes. Yes, yes. Actually, to all our viewers, I we are so much blessed. We are so much thankful, grateful that uh, they are our partners in these countries. Eternity, Travel, and Bright Star, most especially Eternity, especially the outright decision that was, given by Vivian, because during this time of the year 2020, before the start of the pandemic, you really have to decide very, very fast for the passengers, because otherwise 114 pilgrims will be locked down in Israel.
Correct.
So we are quite thankful that we have our two friends really monitoring the activities of all the 114 pilgrims, and that they were able to go back to the Philippines before the lockdown, and they were able to go back to their provinces. Because imagine if you guys did not do your job, this 114 will just be locked down in Israel. And that is why it is very important to have a very reliable partner in places like Israel
Right.
and Egypt and Jordan. And that's why we are very thankful to you, so that those 114 passengers were able to go back to their provinces just in time for before the lockdown. Because those that arrived March 14 was not able to go back to like Mindanao, Visayas, because there are no more flights. They were
Yes,
stuck
right.
here in Manila. So we are so lucky. We are so guided by God, by the yeah the we were shown what to do
Mhm.
on that moment, and that we were able to bring back all the 114 pilgrims safe, though not sound, but at least they were able to go back to Manila. And that is because of you. Thank you so much. Thank
We
you
want to
to
thank you, really. We want to
all
thank you
your
because
help.
you trusted us also. Thank you so much
Yes,
from our heart because you trusted us with our decisions and
Yes, you backed up our
yes,
decisions as well, and you are not partners anymore. We are a
no,
whole big
yes, we
family.
are
right.
family. Yes, I know, I
Yes,
know,
we
I
are
know.
a very sincere big family, and we are together many years, and we appreciate the effort you also do. And I know you're not like any agent. You really work also from the bottom of your heart to please your pilgrims. You care a lot
Yes,
about them.
Correct.
I'm not here because I want people to know, but really these are sincere words that you are not just any agent, like just sending the group. No, you really also care. You follow up, you call, you give full attention and love to your people. You want to give always the best of hotels, the best of guides.
Right.
And I really appreciate this because that's why we are family, because your team is our team. You know, our mission to bring pilgrims to Holy Land, let them enjoy what is real, praying to be in Holy Land, and to go back with, with big faith in their hearts and in their minds, and to fulfill their missions completely. So we really appreciate a lot the efforts you do. You're backing up, and no words can express our gratitude to you for being with us so many years, and for being our family for so many years. And we hope God, and with God's willing, we will continue to be a big whole family for also the coming,
yes,
till eternity, till we
Till
all
eternity.
go to God.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Any last word from Mr. Hani Peter?
Um, I want to say that Egypt opened the door and welcome all the tourism and fell. I want you to come and don't worry, Egypt is safe. About the situation of the corona now, you will come to Egypt and you will see Egypt like no corona, nothing danger, no one afraid, no one use a mask. The life back to be normal like before. So welcome to come Egypt anytime, and you have a great team, Eternity Travel and Bright Star Tours. Together, will cover everything you need in your trip through Trade Wings. So
yes,
welcome anytime to come Egypt and Israel and Jordan.
yes. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Mr.
so much, our dear
Thank
Hani.
you.
partners.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Isaac.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vivian. And of
Thank
course,
you.
Sana. And actually, we just want to reiterate that we're discussing these things because this is one of the most memorable border crossing that happened 2 years ago, and that
Right.
was the most intense. And I don't really have the kind of words that I would like to share to you, because with these two partners of ours in Egypt and also from Israel, without the proper coordination, without the proper kind of attention, no, that was given last 2 years ago, I don't think we will have a very um, it could be the worst scenario, no? But
Yes,
with the
yes,
help of the people or the staff of Bright Star, and of course the people of Eternity, we have managed to cross the border um, very smoothly, kahit na medyo ginabi, but we're trying to discuss things, what really happened there. But I'm sure the next on March 17, when we feature Israel, we're going to discuss more on how
yes.
we have managed to cross the border. It's like scenario of the way back Jesus
Exodus.
time, no? Na kailangan makatawid dahil
It's
katulad nung
Exodus.
pagtakas ng family ni Jesus Christ, no? The Holy Family when they crossed the border to at that time wala pa namang immigration and customs, no? But of course, we um, we have experienced a modern kind of pilgrims or pilgrimage, and it's a very modern way of crossing the border. But since Jesus time, talagang meron na tayong suffering and somehow, kumbaga, um, anong tawag natin dyan, mami? Nagka-challenge tayo lagi, no, when it comes to border crossing. So next week, March 17, when we feature Israel, I think we're going to discuss more on how and what are the new norms. And again, we will be reiterating or we will be discussing again some procedures kung meron mang updates or meron man tayong magiging panibagong restrictions. But I do hope that next week, March 17, marireduce na siya or baka ma-free na rin ang ating tinatawag na RT-CPR or swab man lang or antigen. And at the same time, ang hindi lang po mababago is how the only thing that won't change, I think, is how they care about our passengers, especially Honey Peter or Bright Star in the Egypt side, and of course the Eternity Sisters in Israel side. This won't change, and there will be no restriction, but they will work harder harder than before. So
Yeah.
that's what we can promise. And again, next week we will see you by
March 17.
featuring March 17, featuring
Israel.
Israel.
So we go for the Wheel of Sharer. It's time for the raffle. And perhaps since it's Egypt, perhaps Mr. Honey Peter can say stop so that we will be able to determine who will win the 500 pesos Gcash that we're giving away. So Mr. Honey Peter, you just have to say stop so we will know who is the winner of the 500 pesos Gcash.
Anytime from now.
Anytime from now. Da, 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 da.
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
يلا هن
ايه مش سامع.
قولوا ستوب.
Yeah.
ايه
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
انا مش سامع.
Ready. It's Ayano
Okay,
Eugene.
stop. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
Ayano
Stella.
Eugene is the winner of 500 pesos. Okay, so
Disregard that one. That's my fake account.
so another
Stella,
one.
she's
So
so
Mr.
tough.
Honey Peter, you have
هاني قولوا ستوب وخلاص.
Stop.
Okay, so that is Miss Florencia.
Batitis
Okay, bye.
Florencio Batitis Jr., are you here? Mr. Florencio Batitis Jr., are you here? And
Mr. Florencio,
because if you're not here, then you cannot win the 500 pesos Gcash.
say hi.
Are you
I hope
here?
he's here.
Oh, I think he's not here. Going once, going twice, and
No.
twice. So we have to.
Oh,
again.
he's here.
Ah,
Present.
Ah,
Here,
here,
sorry.
here.
Present. Okay. You
Congratulations, Mr.
Congratulations,
Florencio.
Mr. Florencio. You just won 500 pesos Gcash. Please
You're so
send us
tough.
your Gcash number so we can send you the your prize. Okay. So anyway, with that, I'd like to thank all our partners and of course all our viewers. And then also later on, Felice will be showing a video which is called the 3-in-1 Global Assistance. It's a corporate social responsibility that we are doing together with our partners, with Eternity, with Ezat donated there, with Bright Star. They are the donors for this 3-in-1 because remember during the Taal volcano eruption, there are several houses that were damaged, and we tried
Right.
to solicit. We call it 3-in-1 global assistance because the funding that we get is coming from them, from Honey, from Vivian, from the guides, from Isaac, from the guides in
Jordan.
Jordan. So this is our way, all of us participating in 3-in-1, sharing to those that are in need. And I think we will continue to do this. But of course, I hope you can support the 3-in-1 Holy Land, and by contacting your agent, your travel agent, and because they've not been in the business for like 2 years already, they need your business. Please don't go online. Talk to your travel agent, call your travel agent because
No
you
online
know,
can help you like these people. What
yeah,
they have done to us.
yeah. So
No online thing
yeah,
is
because if you
us.
book online, probably you're stuck somewhere. I mean, during
Right.
those times, no one will be able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
help
that's for
you.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
not
so
guaranteed.
please get in touch with your travel agent if you want to book for the 3-in-1 Holy Land. So for now, see you March 17 for the Israel part. Thank you guys. Maraming
Thank
maraming pong
you.
salamat, Vivian, and
Thank
thank you
you.
to all those
Thank
that
you.
Shukran. Thank you so much.
watch this live stream. And yes, the other can go back. So, Felice, perhaps we can run the 3-in-1 global assistance video. So, guys, thank you. Maraming maraming pong
Thank
salamat.
you.
Bye.
Salamat.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Magandang gabi po Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Mahigit 5,000 na ang mga pamilyang inilikas dahil sa pagputok at pagbuga ng abok, usok at lava na bulkang Taal. Pinakaapektado ang Batangas na isinailalim na sa state of calamity.